Mastering decision-making in leadership, enhancing your ability to lead effectively. Today we're examining the fascinating world of decision-making in leadership. As leaders, every day presents a series of choices that shape the future of our teams and organizations. But how do successful leaders make those decisions? What factors influence our thinking, and how can we become better at making those critical calls? On January 15, 2009, U.S. Airways Flight 1549 took off from New York's LaGuardia Airport with 155 people aboard. Just minutes into the flight, a flock of geese struck the plane, disabling both engines. Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger and First Officer Jeff Skiles quickly realized they couldn't make it back to any airport. With calm professionalism and decades of experience, Sully made a split-second decision to glide the powerless aircraft down and landed on the Hudson River. The landing was smooth and all passengers and crew survived. Ferries and rescue boats rushed in within minutes. Sullenberger's quick thinking, teamwork, and calm under pressure turned what could have been a tragedy into what became known as the miracle on the Hudson. In this video, we'll explore key theories and frameworks on leadership decision-making, including experience, intuition, naturalistic decision-making, and John Boyd's OODA loop. The same things that allowed Captain Sullenberger to work through the challenges he faced on that fateful day in 2009. We'll also discuss how recognizing patterns in the environment can help you make faster, more accurate decisions. And we'll take a look at insights from some of the foremost thinkers in decision science, like Daniel Kahneman, Gary Klein, and John Boyd. By the end, you'll have actionable strategies to improve your decision-making as a leader. Let's start by looking at the role of experience. As we navigate the complexities of leadership, the ability to make good decisions often comes down to what we've learned through experience. As Daniel Kahneman highlights in his book Thinking Fast and Slow, experience helps shape our intuition, those quick, gut-feeling judgments that we rely on in situations of uncertainty. But how does experience factor into leadership decisions? When leaders face difficult choices, their past experiences act as a filter, allowing them to recognize familiar patterns, make connections, and anticipate outcomes more effectively. This brings us to naturalistic decision-making, a theory developed by Gary Klein, which emphasizes the importance of intuition and expertise in real-world settings. Klein's research with firefighters suggests that experienced decision-makers don't rely solely on analysis, but instead recognize patterns in the situation at hand and act based on what feels right, honed through years of experience. This is where recognition-primed decision-making, sometimes called RPDM, comes in. Leaders who practice recognition-primed decision-making can identify patterns in complex situations faster than novices. The more experience they have, the more likely they are to spot a situation they've seen before, allowing them to make faster and more accurate decisions. Now let's talk about John Boyd's OODA loop, a framework used by military leaders and business strategists alike. OODA stands for Observe, Orient, Decide, and Act. It's a dynamic process that helps leaders adapt to fast-changing environments. In Boyd's model, you begin by observing your environment, then orienting yourself by understanding the context. Next, you decide on the best course of action, and finally, you act. OODA is a loop, so it is an iterative process. Leaders who master the OODA loop can make decisions more swiftly, adjusting to new information as it comes in. So what can you do to improve your decision-making and help your team and organization? First, develop your intuition by gaining more experience in various situations. Dr. Richard Gassaway explains that intuition arises from the subconscious processing of past experiences stored in long-term memory. In high-risk, high-stress situations, the brain can trigger intuitive feelings based on these experiences, either as a warning, doom, or reassurance, bliss. A feeling of doom is the brain's way of signaling danger, even when the conscious mind can't identify the threat. In contrast, a feeling of bliss may stem from past successes and can falsely suggest everything is fine, potentially leading to complacency. Gassaway advises trusting feelings of doom by stepping back and reassessing, but warns against trusting bliss blindly, suggesting a deliberate search for evidence to confirm whether things are truly going well. The more exposure you have to different challenges, the better you'll be at recognizing patterns and making informed decisions, especially under stress. You can also encourage a culture of leadership and decision-making within your team, helping team members develop their own decision-making skills through deliberate practice and feedback. Leaders should also focus on improving their mental models, frameworks that help us understand the world and how we make decisions. Regularly reflecting on past decisions, both good and bad, and by engaging in critical thinking exercises, we can sharpen our mental models. Finally, don't forget about the power of learning. Whatever it is you do, keep training and seek out additional education in your field. It has been said, we train for what is known and we educate for the unknown. Be open to feedback, stay curious, and constantly seek to improve your decision-making skills. A great leader is one who learns from every decision. Whether it succeeds or fails, every decision is an opportunity to improve. So how did Sully do it? Captain Sullenberger's landing on the Hudson River exemplified adaptive decision-making under pressure. His actions reflected several key principles. Rapid situational assessment. Within seconds of losing engine power, he identified critical limitations and ruled out unsafe options like returning to the airport. Prioritizing safety. Choosing a controlled water landing prioritized lives over more risky maneuvers. Relying on experience. Years of training and flight safety expertise guided his calm, effective response. Team communication. Sully kept his crew informed and aligned, ensuring coordinated action in a crisis. To further develop your leadership decision-making, focus on situational awareness. Encourage fast, accurate assessment through realistic simulations. Check out Dr. Richard Gassaway and his SA Matters podcast for more. Risk management. Learn how to prioritize safety and eliminate unworkable options quickly. Composure under stress. Use tools like mindfulness, box breathing, or pressure drills to foster calm thinking. Confidence in training. Reinforce the importance of practice, preparation, and trusting one's skills. Clear communication. Promote open dialogue and teamwork in decision-making. Working on these elements will help you lead more effectively, even in the most demanding situations. Let me leave you with a few thought-provoking questions. How much do you rely on intuition when making decisions, and how can you sharpen that skill? What past experiences have shaped your decision-making, and how can you use them to lead more effectively? How could adopting the OODA loop help you make faster decisions in your leadership role? Thank you for watching. This video just scratches the surface on these concepts. Please take a look at the links in the description to the referenced authors, original works, or current podcasts for more. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more leadership tips and insights. Join our community of developing leaders, and let's keep growing together. Don't forget to comment below with your thoughts or questions about decision-making. Until next time.